76 this week. I am your host, Gotmark76. We have a great show lined up for you today. Our big main event will see members of Devastation Incorporated, Cactus Jack and Jake the Snake Roberts, do battle with former World Wrestling Federation Tag Team Champions, the Hart Foundation. We will also see the Four Horsemen in action as they take on Owen Hart, Brian Pillman, and Brad Armstrong. The NWA World Television Champion Sting will take on Earthquake. And we will see Bruiser Brody go up against the Iron Sheik. But we begin today's show with a match that was insisted by the Macho Man Randy Savage, who last week was taken out on a stretcher after his loss to Yokozuna. And of course it wasn't that easy, as Yokozuna attacked Savage while he was being taken to the back. And after the Macho Man insisted that he wasn't going to go down like that, his words, not mine, he demanded a match this week. Hey, look, if he's trying to impress me for a title opportunity, message received. The Macho Man Randy Savage, no one has ever questioned his toughness, and he will do battle in our opening match this week against Scotty Flamingo.
is your winner, Scotty the Body.
So that has to go down as one of, if not the biggest victories in the career of Scotty Flamingo. But again, I do not question the toughness of the Macho Man Randy Savage. He will be getting, I'm sure, many opportunities at championships down the road. But something tells me that this issue between him and Yokozuna is not over just yet. The NWA World Television Champion Sting has taken on all challengers, including a successful defense against King Kong Bundy at the Great American Bash. But hey, let's not stop the challengers from coming, as someone about the same size and stature as King Kong Bundy will be taking on Sting in today's show, as the Earthquake does battle with the NWA World TV Champ. So a big victory by the NWA World TV Champion Sting, and a show of respect on the part of Earthquake in a losing effort. So something to keep our eyes on there. Has the Earthquake had a change of attitude? I'm sure we'll find out in the coming weeks here in the Wrestling Legends Alliance. Our following match, we'll see two different styles clash as the monster Bruiser Brody takes on former World Heavyweight Champion, the Iron Sheik.
here is your winner, Bruiser Brody.
So a big victory by Bruiser Brody over former World Heavyweight Champion, the Iron Sheik. And the stock of Bruiser Brody keeps rising up the ranks here in the Wrestling Legends Alliance. And I'm sure that somewhere down the road, Bruiser Brody will be challenging for that AWA World Heavyweight title currently held by Curt Hennig. Keep an eye on that situation as it develops. We're going to go now to the Four Horsemen. And they have been on quite a roller coaster of a streak in recent weeks. Going back to the Clash of the Champions back in June, Barry Windham lost the United States Heavyweight Championship to Lex Luger, and Tully Blanchard and Arn Anderson lost the NWA World Tag Team Championships to the Varsity Club. They got back on the winning track of things back at Night 2 of the Great American Bash against Strikeforce and Ricky Steamboat, and they look to continue that momentum, taking on Owen Hart, Brian Pillman, and Brad Armstrong. Now, something to take notice of is that Owen Hart and Brian Pillman, Flying Brian, are currently being scouted to join the Hart Foundation, who we will see in our main event, as Bret Hart and Jim Neidhart, of course, related, and of course Owen Hart, the brother of Bret. Brian Pillman trained in the famous Hart family dungeon. So look for some keys here as Owen Hart and Brian Pillman look to impress their brothers in the Hart Foundation. So a great six-man tag team match that ended with a little bit of controversy there, as not only did Owen Hart appear to have grabbed the bottom rope, which should have broken the pinfall attempt, but it also appeared that Brad Armstrong did break up the pinfall attempt in the nick of time. The referee's decision, of course, is final. He counted 3, so the decision will stand. But something that I will keep in mind when I'm making up the rankings for something that's coming your way starting next week, and that is the beginning of the United States Tag Team Championship Tournament. That's right, night 1 of the Great American Bash in Philadelphia saw the crowning of new World Wrestling Federation Tag Team Champions, the Midnight Express. Well, they were currently the U.S. Tag Team Championships at the time of that victory, so I have decided to implement a tournament to fill that vacant title. Here are the list of teams, including the first round matchups for that tournament, which will begin here next week on Gotmark76 this week. The first round matchup will take place between the British Bulldogs taking on the Skyscrapers. We will also see the Hart Foundation, Brian Pillman and Owen Hart, who we just saw in action here tonight, take on the Paul Jones Army of Abdullah the Butcher and the Raging Bull Manny Fernandez. Bad Company, former AWA World Tag Team Champions, will collide with the Rock and Roll Express of Ricky Morton and Robert Gibson. And rounding out round 1, we'll see the Heenan family of King Kong Bundy and Big John Studd taking on the brothers Von Erich, Kerry, and Kevin. So there are the tournament brackets for the U.S. Tag Team Championship, which we will see round 2 take place here next week on Gotmark76 this week. It is now time for our main event, as we will see Devastation Incorporated members Cactus Jack and Jake the Snake Roberts take on former World Wrestling Federation Tag Team Champions, the Hart Foundation. Now, Cactus Jack and Jake the Snake Roberts wrestled for different promotions prior to the formation of the Wrestling Legends Alliance, but General Skandar Akbar has been amassing large number of talent to join Devastation Incorporated, and we are seeing teams such as Cactus Jack and Jake the Snake Roberts form under that umbrella. Let's head to ringside for our big main event. This ought to be an interesting style, at least a clash of styles here, as you have the technician of Bret Hart, the brawling style and strength of Jim the Anvil, and of course the all-around talent of Cactus Jack and Jake Roberts. This a very interesting matchup, but more interesting is that General Skandar Akbar, of course from World Class Championship Wrestling, which is primarily based out of Texas, has started to form a very large stable. Of course, Jake the Snake Roberts, Cactus Jack, and Abdullah the Butcher, who's also a member of Paul Jones's army. So just a large group of talent, including Killer Khan, Missing Link, many other wrestlers joining General Skandar Akbar's Devastation Incorporated. As Cactus goes for a cover on the Hitman. 1, 2, a kick out of 2 by Hart. So the Wrestling Legends Alliance has made former promotions just work together, and we are hearing rumblings that the younger brother of Bret Hart and the brother-in-law of Jim the Anvil, Owen Hart, and his partner Flying Brian Pillman may become members of the Hart Foundation in the very near future. You know, when you have a bunch of promotions under one umbrella, the more friends you have, the better. I don't want to say that gang warfare will reign supreme, but obviously having more people on your side to help battle those against you definitely helps. As the Anvil stomping away on the head of Jake Roberts. Of course, the Hart Foundation lost the World Wrestling Federation Tag Team Championships to the Midnight Express back at night 1 of the Great American Bash in Philadelphia. Nice double team work on the part of the Hart Foundation. And they're looking to get back on the winning track of things. A big clothesline by Bret Hart takes down Cactus Jack. Jake the Snake Roberts has also mentioned that while he is in this tag team with Cactus Jack, beautiful maneuver by Cactus, that he is eyeing the World Heavyweight Championship, the NWA World title, held by Dusty Rhodes. So could we see a Dusty Rhodes and Jake the Snake Roberts match in the near future? Well, as the commissioner here in the Wrestling Legends Alliance, I can assure you that that match will definitely take place somewhere down the road. As Cactus Jack working over, trying to get the Hitman turned into a Boston Crab, and does. Can the Hitman escape? This would be a huge victory for Devastation Incorporated if they hold on and Bret Hart submits, but I don't see Bret Hart submit, and he does not. He uses his lower body strength to power out of the Boston Crab, and now Hart somehow back in control, working over Cactus Jack. Devastation Incorporated not partaking in the U.S. Tag Team Championship tournament. Skandar Akbar saying that they deserve to be World Tag Team Champions, whether that's the World Wrestling Federation, the AWA, or the National Wrestling Alliance. So they are setting their sights on bigger goals. I do find it odd that Abdullah the Butcher is also a member of Devastation Incorporated. He's also a member of the Paul Jones Army. So, interesting that Abdullah the Butcher's services are being utilized by two different managers, which could just be the new normal going forward here in the Wrestling Legends Alliance. I mean, again, you have a large roster of talent, and you have managers. Oh, and a beautiful spine buster by Cactus Jack takes down the Hitman. Will that be enough? One! And broken up by the anvil just in time. The referee's hand coming down for two, but that may have been a 3 count. And now, Devastation Incorporated in trouble as Hart with a bulldog on Cactus. Down goes Cactus. The Hitman does not go for a cover. I imagine with so much talent here in the Wrestling Legends Alliance that you were going to have partnerships. Again, not gang warfare, but it's good to have people that you can at least work closely with, because everybody's coming from every different direction. And now this match is starting to get out of hand. The referee needs to pay close attention here as Cactus working the Hitman in the ring. Jake has the anvil on the outside. DDT by Cactus takes down the Hitman. And now what's Cactus do? He's climbing the top rope. What is going on here? Cactus climbing the top rope. He's letting Hart get back to his feet. He leaps and a big clothesline misses. The Hitman was able to duck out of the way, but the Hitman's still in trouble. And a bulldog from behind by Cactus. I don't know if the Hitman dodged out of the way or got lucky and Cactus just missed, but either way, a high-risk maneuver did not pay off for Cactus Jack, and now Bret Hart back in control. Scoop slam takes down Cactus. Climbing that second turnbuckle, here comes a big elbow, misses. Cactus had that well scouted. But the Hitman firing away with lefts and rights. Now working the leg of Cactus Jack as Jake the Snake still doing work on the anvil on the outside. You gotta pay close attention to that. As the Hitman now going for the sharpshooter. He has it turned on. Here it is, can Cactus make it to the ropes? The Hitman has it locked in the middle of the ring, but here comes Roberts to break the hold. And now the Hitman going for the cover. Is he going to pin Cactus? No, Cactus makes it to the ropes. The referee now in position 1, and a kick out of 1 by Cactus. Man, this guy must really like pain. He was in the sharpshooter, made it somehow escape. Well, obviously Jake broke the maneuver up. And then when Hart went for the cover, he escaped and he makes the tag, and here comes Jake, and that changes everything for the Hitman. But the Hitman firing away takes down Roberts. Hitman going after Cactus. We got to pay close attention to that situation. The Hitman daring Jake to get back up, and here's that short arm clothesline. Takes down the Hitman. Goes for the cover. Is that enough? Referee position 1 and broken up by the Anvil. We know that the DDT usually comes next. And wait a second. Jake has the Anvil up in a power bomb position. No, he drops him on the outside floor. That takes out the Anvil. It's basically a 2-on-1 now between Devastation Incorporated and Bret Hart. And now Roberts makes a tag. Here comes Cactus to clean up what's left of the Hitman. Big headbutt takes down Hart. The Anvil still open. The Anvil got back up. And a Russian leg sweep by the Hitman takes down Cactus. Goes for the cover. Is that enough to put away? Devastation Incorporated, no, broken up by Jake. What a tag team match this is. In our main event here on Gotmark76 this week, and the Bulldog takes down Jake Roberts. But he's not the legal man. A Bulldog misses. Cactus had it well scouted. And now Cactus setting up Hart for the stump pile driver. Down goes Hart. Cactus hooks a leg 1, 2, and 3. What a victory here for Devastation Incorporated. I don't know if I would call that an upset, but I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway. As Devastation Incorporated definitely working up the rankings here in the tag team division of the Wrestling Legends Alliance. Here are some highlights. What a match this was. It really could have gone either way. But I think the momentum shifted for good when the Hitman bulldogged Roberts. He wasn't even a legal man. And Cactus saw it, and he was able to dodge the Bulldog and nail Hart with a stunt pile driver. And there are your winners, Devastation Incorporated. So a nice victory by Devastation Incorporated. They are definitely moving up the ranks here in the Wrestling Legends Alliance. And that's going to wrap it up for this week's episode. Of course, next week the U.S. Tag Team Tournament starts, as we will see round 1 matches take place. We will also see Ravishing Rick Rude defend the Intercontinental title against Rowdy Roddy Piper. It's a show that you don't want to miss. Until next time, we thank you so much for joining us here. Please hit that subscribe button. Help us get to 1,000 subscribers. And we'll see you next time. Goodbye, everybody.